Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the G4 Sim Racing 87 Vintage Series. And we are here at Richmond Raceway for 200 laps. My name is Samuel Dyer, and accompanying me for tonight is actually Michael Norman. And Michael, it's looking like, based off what we saw in practice and qualifying, it's loose for these guys.
Absolutely. I'm seeing these cars slip and slide. It's giving me It's giving me Daytona PTSD, man. It's just they're sliding in these corners. It's a loose setup with hardly any spoiler on these race cars. It's going to be an awesome night under the lights here at Richmond.
And our Daytona winner of Ashton Slash is going to be getting the pole position today. And our winner from last week at Rockingham of Blaine Atkins did not put it down a qualifying time. He'll actually be starting in the back of the pack with a lot of other machines that decided not to qualify, I should say. But there's other drivers out here that really are putting up different qualifying times than what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, they were actually a little bit slower compared to the fastest lap time put down in practice. Fastest time in practice was I think a 22.54, and the qualifying pole time is a 22.85. So a little bit slower, but that's probably due to looseness. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye out around and hope that there's not too many cautions tonight, but it be a pretty fun race tonight.
Yeah, Ashton Slice in that 68 machine with the pole position, and next to him is going to be Kyle Johnson. And in third place, you got Jake Houndshell and Dallas My Hand in fourth. And then we've got moving up to fifth position, you got Brady. Bo Brady, I believe this is going to be his first race here that I've seen him in. And then Nicholas Weatherby in that 24 machine.
Mm-hmm. We're still waiting for some cars to get on the racetrack. This is going to be a fun 200 laps, I hope, definitely for sure. Remember, back in the 1980s, Richmond wasn't the same length it was right now. Actually, it was a little bit shorter. I think they only had it a half mile back then. So these cars at the newer Richmond is going to be a fun and interesting test.
And then you got Randy Cody in the how would you pronounce the 11 machine's last name there, Michael? Feel
Uh,
like
I have
uh,
I don't even want to try at
we're
the
gonna
risk of messing it up.
Randy, we are so sorry. We're probably gonna butcher your name tonight, but we'll figure it out at
I
some
want to say
point.
maybe coaching, something like that.
Po-
Coaching,
there are
coaching.
a whole bunch of different ways you could possibly say that. We'll look it up at some point. We're so sorry, Randy. And then in eighth, we've got the Olympic medalist figure skater of Todd Eldridge joining us in that 96 machine. He joined us last week in that red, white, and blue with stars machine. And in ninth place, last car to put down a qualifying lap is Michael Blayton. And I got to say, 9 cars putting down some qualifying lap times, but that's not as many drivers that we have out here on track.
Absolutely. We got 14 drivers that are gonna take the green flag here at Richmond. You see most of them just warming up, trying to get their tires warmed up to not really slide all that much into these corners. We'll have to see how much that actually plays an effect. We got Blaine Atkin, Christopher Morse Jr., Robert Hedges, Jonathan Leach, and Eric Schaefer, who all didn't take times and are starting at here at the rear of the field, but that was planned. Most of them planned to start at the rear of the field, so that should be interesting to see them work their way up through.
Yeah, I mean, the cars we got in mind that we'll really have our eyes on, that's going to be Blaine Atkins and Christopher Morris Jr. Those two machines are always up front, and we saw that them be battling up front for the win last week, expecting them to go through the traffic. As the base car pulls off, it's going to be the 68 of Hatch Last, going to be pulling us to the lead, backing them up, and taking off now.
Green flag is out. They're racing off into turn one. Going to keep an eye on this field to make sure everything seems good. They take it real nice and easy into turns 1 and 2.
And Ashton in that 68 machine got to be going to the lead, feeling comfortable, but it's a battle for second, where Houndshell going to get under the 88 machine for second.
Yep, and it's all about momentum. The high line can come into play here if you get a good enough run. You see, it's not a death sentence to be up there by any means, but it's very, very, very much possible to get an outside line working.
Yeah, and you're seeing the 24 as, it looked like Johnson on the outside might have graced the wall, but just did not do so, able to keep it off, but very close to hitting the wall there.
We have a straggler in the back here, Eric Schaefer. I think he might be just back here keeping out of trouble here, but he seems to be maybe a little off the pace.
A little off the pace, looking
Oh,
back
the
at
8 car
cars.
is around. Turn 2, the 8 car has spun it around and the caution is out.
Yeah, it just goes around, but it looked like there was also some contact, possibly up front. Nope, it was just the 8 machine. Caution out. We'll have to take a quick look to see what happened to him.
I think he got a little too loose walking. He got a little too loose driving into the corner, and it just kind of snapped around on him.
Yeah, here it is, the 8 machine going into turn number 1 all by his lonesome, and just came in at an odd angle, and around the 8 machine went. And that was something we were notified of, is these cars very snappy loose, could go around at any moment. And you saw there the 8 machine just going around with literal ease, coming around the corner. We'll take another look at it from a different angle, but really nowhere. At least he saved it ish, hitting the wall a little bit. But these cars are pretty durable. That contact shouldn't hurt the 8 machine that much.
Yeah, and we're at a short track, so even aero damage shouldn't come into that much of a play here.
Here at Richmond, and the rules that we've been continuing on is due to the fact that these cars, without loose they can get, we decided to give the drivers one fast repair. So at any moment during this race, they can come in, get all the damage that they've taken in, and use that repair to fix their car up instantly. We saw Dallas Myhan do a fantastic job of saving that fast repair until the last 20 laps to finally make a final push with heavy damage that he had all race long. Other drivers will decide to use their fast repairs early in the runs, but the 5 machine early into the pits, and also we have the 11 pulling into the pits as well.
Yep, with an unlimited tire limit here, these cars can, excuse me, come in and get tires or anything they need to. Right now, pretty early at the back of the pack, figure, okay, get the freshest tires.
Get the fresh tires. If you have any damage, get that repaired. So a lot of different strategy to be thrown in, and looking like both the 5 and the 11 just decided to pull through the pace, through pits. Was there anything on race control on that end saying why they did that?
Not entirely sure. I haven't heard anything. Could have very well have been a penalty, but or maybe a drive through or something, but I'm not entirely sure.
Well, 14 cars here on track for 200 laps at Richmond here for the G4 Sim Racing 87 Vintage Series, and these guys are going to be putting on a great show. They did so last week at Rockingham, expecting it to continue here. We're only 7 laps in, and I mean, there's still not a lot to be seen, but you saw the fact that these guys got single filed up pretty quickly, and on the restarts was the best time to make passes. But we're using the 87 rules. You have the single file restarts.
Yep, and that's actually not all that terribly bad to have. Single file restarts, especially at a track like this, could limit the amount of cautions we have.
Yeah, but it also takes away some advantages that some cars might get from trying to make some quick passes here, as the 68 machine gonna be holding up everyone up until the green flag comes out. And here he goes, restart out for lap number 8 here for this Richmond race. And well, a lot of high diving is in the back of the field. That was a very bold move by Atkins, who's already up to fourth place, I should say.
Absolutely.
As up front, Johnson going to be pulling up into second place, getting under Hound Shell, which gives an opening for Atkins to get under him.
He's just coming straight through the field right now.
I don't remember. Was Atkins the fastest car during practice? I think he was in the top 3. I don't remember if he was the fastest or not.
I think he put a fast lap down, but he might have been second.
Oh,
the 88 car.
He just came in a little too hot for the 88 machine, and he bumps Hound Shell just a little bit, which then causes everyone else to react. They're all clustered up, almost 3 wide action. Oh no, the 88 car gets hit by my hand, and still more contact made.
Yeah, that was just a product of stacking up and overcooking the tires, and then just trying to crowd up, going off in a turn. 3 wide at Richmond doesn't always work very well.
I mean, this all started back up in turn 3 and 4 with the 88 machine. We're going to stay on board with him from the start. On entry into 3, just decided to throw his car up, came up with too hot, and heavy came down, bounced into Houndshell, which then caused Houndshell to come down to the 24, and my hand saw an opening, but it was Houndshell, and the 88, a little bit of net code there, causing the 88 machine to spin around. We'll take another look from the chopper cam to see what type of contact came off of 4. The Z88 machine came off of 4, came into Houndshell, and a little bit of contact there. And then coming into turn number 1, I don't think there was contact. There might have been a little bit there with the 41. I know from a different camera view that looked like some net code, but contact also made for the 9 machine. So a couple of cars involved in that accident. I don't think it warrants cars to come in and use their fast repairs, but it's still early cautions that I'm not surprised to see, but these guys seem to be racing just a little bit too hard here in the early goings of a 200 lap race.
Yeah, we definitely need these guys to just settle down a little bit and maybe get into like a single file green flag run if possible. I mean, Blaine is he's running in second. As you see, there's a car coming down pit road. I believe that was Dallas Myhand coming down pit road there after the incident. But
Yeah, I mean, you can see on the front end of Dallas Myhand, he's got a lot of front left damage on that 41 machine. Other cars that came into the pits, it's going to be the 48 of Leach, as well as the 8 and the 11 got some repairs and some fresh tires and fuel for their machines.
that's all they need for now. It's going to be cold tires though, so they better warm up those tires under this caution.
Speaking of warming up their tires, let's take a quick look here on your bottom left of the screen. You'll see the outside temp, 79 degrees, and the middle temp of 80 degrees is the track. And I'm surprised it's a lot cooler than I was expecting it to be here. I mean, yes, it's night here at Richmond, but most of the time we see a lot of leagues making nighttime Richmond be around 90 to the high 80s in track temp.
And that's good. The less temperature it is, the more grip the track should have. Be lucky it's not any higher track temperature, otherwise we could see these cars sliding all over the place more than they usually already are.
Ashton sliced in that 68 machine has led every single lap. We're on lap 14 of 200, going on to caution number 2. Pace car lights look to be off, so we'll be going this time by. And Schleiss has a lot of company now. With Houndshell, he's been trying to get up there, but in second, it's Blaine Atkins who has been doing a lot of dive bombs here on these restarts, trying to get up front as quick as possible. Pace car pulls off.
He is right on the lane, is right on the back bumper of the leader here, just waiting. Green flag is out.
Whoa, he bumped him just a little bit. Expecting to see Slice go a little bit quicker than that. Did not. Well, under the 05 goes. Diving it hard into the lead.
Oh, boy, he really is there.
Almost made contact with the 68 machine. I think the 68 needed to react just a little bit there to pull up, to give space, and he's coming back, trying to dive bomb back into the 05, but just not able to, as Atkins gonna be finally leading a lap and going from about 10th place up to the lead.
Yeah, that's where he started, 10th place. Now here he is leading just after about 16 laps into this 200 lap race. Looks like these cars have gotten about single file, except for up here. There's a battle between the 5 and the 41 car.
5 and the 41 back around 9th place, as you're seeing the inside line powering by the 9 machine of Bo Brady, as well as Dallas Myhand, able to get by the 2 machines on the high side, which was Eldritch, and believe that was also the 5 machine.
And if you pay close attention onto that 41, you can see the brake rotors glowing on that race car as they head off into these turns.
Yeah, we're going to take a closer camera look at this battle here for the 9 and the 41, as Brady's got a really struggling to hold off Dallas Myhand, who we saw Myhand in that last caution, a lot of contact, but able to continue running in that 41 machine, as now he's trying to pull on by and trying to go after the 88 machine of Kyle Johnson, but that's almost over a 2.5 second gap.
Absolutely. These guys pulling away a little bit. The 88 car recovered after sliding that tire. Got,
Sliding and also making contact with my hand earlier.
yep. You've got Christopher Morse Jr., who also started at the rear of the field, and he's running in the 5th position right now.
Looking at these drivers' best times, Blaine Atkins, fastest car on track, and he's been doing so by a tenth every single time. That '05 machine is looking to be dominant here today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're looking at it here. He's got up the front, and he's just leaving him behind really right now. He's got what? I'm guessing that's roughly about that's a 6/10 of a second lead, possibly growing over second place right now.
That lap time by both first through third all ran a 23.7. So all very similar times, and the advantage is going to go to Blaine Atkins, who's continuing to pull away from Schleiss and Houndshell. He's about the same distance away from the 68. Our closest battle on track, it's crazy to think, but it is this battle for fourth and third, as well as that battle for second, as they're all about 0.8 seconds away from one another.
Michael Blanton is about half a lap or half a straightaway away from being our first lapped car of the evening.
Rocking that STP Richard Petty machine scheme. I mean, you'll love to see the classic schemes coming out. I mean, you also saw the 3 of Christopher Morris running a scheme, as well as Hedges running his Goodwrench scheme as well. All these guys running some pretty snazzy schemes out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what our leader is running, but on my screen it's just a purely black race car. Caution is out.
Oh, that's the 88 car, as well as I think that is, oh my goodness, that is Schleiss. That is also involved in that one.
And the 5 as well.
Well, we're going to have to take a quick back look at this thing, but I'm expecting to see the 68 wasn't near anybody. He's going to lose it off of 4, and then going to collect a couple other people. Just gets loose, gets into the wall, wasn't able to save it, overcorrects. Houndshell able to get by, but it looked like Kyle Johnson able to get by as well. He just was sliding by, and you said the 5 car looked
The
like he
5
was.
car wrecked on the back straightaway on his own. He just got
Wow.
he hit the wall hard off of 2 and just slammed to the inside of the wall.
We're going to take a look at this 5 Machines wreck, as he had his troubles and woes.
That's 100% gonna be a fast repair on him because that looked like a blown motor.
Yeah, it was a blown motor that we saw, and here he comes. Entering turn number 1. It's going to be the 5 Machine. He just comes off of 2 and just came in straight into the wall, and oh, that is such a hard lick into the inside wall that just completely nosed it in, blew up the engine immediately, and yeah, that's going to be a very you don't want to use a fast repair so early in this race, but 5 car has to use it now.
Absolutely, I think.
I take that back. Wait, the 5 car has not used his fast repair. He's still in the pits getting repairs done manually. Looks like the 48 machine of Leach, he's already used a fast repair.
I wonder if the 5 might have used a fast repair accidentally when he under the previous caution if he had come down pit road.
Well, on our telemetry right now, it says that he is not. This is his first time in the pits, so shocker to see. As it looks like the 68 machine going to save that fast repair, and a lot of these faster cars feel like they can save it for later on in this race, even if they do get quick damage at the start. Wasn't a very hard lick for the 68, much harder for the 5.
Yeah,
So,
which is why
should be all right.
And that's why I'm really surprised not to see the D5 car use his fast repair, because that was a really heavy impact, a smoke pouring out of the race car. I'm not even sure if it's going to be up to speed unless he uses it.
Well, right now, everyone has come in the pits at least once, and Blaine Atkins is going to be in third. The reason why 2 cars decided to stay out, that's going to be Dallas Myhan, and the 11 car of Randy, he's going to be staying out there as well.
I love how we just decided not to say his last name.
There's sometimes where you just can try it, right?
It's better to not say it than it is to say it and mess it up completely.
There's always, my favorite tool to use is just going on Google, right? Taking
Yep.
some of these guys' last names that's so difficult. If I'm not able to contact them, I should have contacted you, Randy. I'm so sorry I didn't before this race to figure out how to say your name properly, and I will do so after this
Anybody,
broadcast.
if
But
anybody
usually,
watching in our if anybody watching in our chat right now knows his last name, could you let us know, because that would be so much easier.
but like I just go on like Google, type in pronounce name or how to pronounce this, and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
But lights are still on, waiting to see them go out once we come across the line. This is caution number 3 here for the G4 Sim Racing 87 Vintage Series here at Richmond for 200 laps here today. 14 cars started off this race, and they're all still on track, even though we've had 3 cautions, heavy damage for a lot of these machines. Luckily, though, we've got at least one fast repair for these drivers to utilize. That's why everyone's still out there on track. New rule was actually implemented for this race. The lucky dog position has been implemented into this series after Rockingham and so many cars having a lot of unlucky circumstances of going a lap down and not able to get their lap back. They discussed it as a league and said, hey, we really need to put a way for drivers to get back into this. Lucky dogs in. Pace cars out this time by. And it's going to be Dallas Myhan waiting to go green. And here we go. And Blaine Atkins immediately dives into the inside.
Ooh, I mean, I don't think he passed anybody, because diving into the inside could mean a penalty with the single file restarts. But he's
Gets it
gonna have
done.
he's gonna have probably the freshest tires, so it's gonna take him little to no time at all to get around these two cars.
I mean, I'm just waiting for Blaine to get by, which he does. The 24 machine of Weatherby should get by the 41 as well. But I want to go back here on where we are seeing a lot of this action going down. You got the 88 in the 3, as well as Hound Shell in front of them. And then you've also got Randy and Bo Bryant, Brady behind them as well. It's 11 cars just drifting on back, and I'm not surprised with the older tires to the newer ones.
Yep. Where is he at? He's back there.
Yeah, already dropped back to 9th, started 2nd. Only two laps into this restart, already dropped back that far. I mean, that's kind of knowing that you were trying to get points in some fashion, not able to. But right now we're watching Dallas Myhan trying to save the position he's in. But man, it is tough with those older tires stuck on the outside, continuing to get freight trained by everyone on the inside. He gets into the wall for the 41.
That's the old tires for you.
And I know I'm just watching Dallas Myhan getting passed by everyone, but that's kind of where the most danger is older tires compared to newer tires. And, over this past week.
Well, the 88 has cooked his tires again, but this time able to not really cause a big stack up.
Yeah, he's looking a little bit strung out for the 88 machine. It seems like every single time he enters 3, he comes in with just too much speed and just dumps it to the high side.
Sometimes it's hard to get to remember your braking points and let off points, or even then just getting on the brakes a little too hard, locking up your tires.
It's one of those things of, I think the main thing is him locking up those tires. These older cars, it's a lot easier to lock them up and just slide up into the outside. And right now, everyone running pretty cleanly. Going to drop back, though, to 7th place, where Dallas Myhan got passed once again. And where we see our pole sitter of Ashton Slice just right there behind the 41 machine, trying to get up to 8th place. A little bit of damage still on that 68 machine, but he's still able to work with what he's got.
Absolutely. Now I want to take a minute to come up here. This caution, the last caution flag, really saved the 43 car of Michael Blanton, because he is up here in I think he just made the pass for 5th position now, and he's really on his way up here. He's got the 88 below him now, trying to fight to get the position back. But that caution really saved him, because he was about to go a lap down, and now here he is up here in the 5th position.
Yeah, up to 5th. He once was all the way back in 12th position where we last saw him, almost going a lap down. Able to stay on the lead lap with that caution that came out, and now he's up here at top 5. A great run for that 43 machine, but car behind him, Kyle Johnson, he is struggling right now, continuously having issues entering 3, and that just must be his spot of struggles.
Yeah, it's the turn 3. You know, you wouldn't notice it probably because of the circular tri-oval here, but turns 3 and 4 seem to be more sharper than you would think 1 and 2 are. Therefore, you have to really let off the gas and onto the brake pretty much more than I think you would for turns 1 and 2. Like usually, you can actually just roll the 11s into the wall up above here. Believe he is. Oh, they're inside each other.
Oh no! That's netcode issues, and that's going to cause the 43 to go spinning around. I was watching Houndshell and Nicholas Werby, and when I switched back, I saw what you were talking about with them inside of one another, and that's just the issue with the 43 blinking in and out with his internet connection issues. And yeah, if you blink into somebody, one of you spinning around, and it was the 43 that time.
Yeah, he is blinking pretty badly, that 43 car.
We'll take a quick review and rewind on this and see our replay for how the 43 went for a wild ride. And we were praising him, but internet connection is something that really can cost these drivers out here. Real life, you don't see it very often, but online work, it happens very often where drivers they don't have control over some of the stuff that goes on. You'll see 43 blinks out there, pops in, and he's right inside of the 11, and around he goes, going for. I mean, everyone else behind him lucky not to make contact with the 43.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just, it's one of those things that's hard to control. You never know when your internet's going to start acting up on you. So it's a very tough break for the 43 team.
Well, we don't get this very often, but
Maybe it's just quick repair.
I'm not surprised to see him do so, and we're gonna take a quick rewind and for the 11 machine and see actually his point of view from his screen. What went down with him? Because you don't expect a car just to pop inside of yourself.
Nope, not at all. And the
So we're gonna
43
do.
the 43, yeah, is still having his disappearing issues right now.
You'll see the car just pop in right in him, and that's the most terrifying thing from cockpit view. Is the car in front of you blinked, but you don't know where he's gonna pop up, and then he's inside of you.
Good old connection issues at its finest. These cautions are not very long. I think they're roughly three laps.
They're anywhere from 3 to 4 laps. Matters on due to the fact that we have lap cars that can pit, that can extend our pace laps. So right now, these drivers having a quick run. They get to get out there quick, and we're coming closer and closer to that quarter marker for these drivers. I've been thinking about putting us because we got to shout out our sponsors for this series, and our one commercial for today's race is Shorba's Graphics. But every single time I'm thinking, we'll throw it out there, a caution comes out. So we might, if another caution comes out, we might have to just give Shorba Graphics their screen time for our next pace lap as everyone's rolling around. And up front, it's a car we're not used to seeing leading the race. That's the 96 of Tom Eldridge getting his laps led here, the Olympic gold medalist for figure skating. Tom Eldridge, this quarantine time, decided to come out here and to start iRacing, and he's been doing a great job recently. We saw him in our other broadcasts with the Elite Series. He's come out for special events, and now deciding to be a regular here in the 87 Vintage Series. It's good to see Tom Eldridge coming out and trying something different.
Want to point out too that Michael Blanton was given an EOL penalty for the accident.
I'm not surprised. He was kind of. Yes, it sucks. It's internet issues, but it's one of those things of if you are being told that you're blinking, you kind of have to get out of the way of other drivers to make sure that that accident doesn't happen. And that's one of the rules that was implemented here for today's race. EOLs given to drivers that feel like they were the cause of the accident. If there's any netcode reasons or just racing incidents that happen, netcode, and I mean not netcode, but EOLs will be given out for drivers that
Yeah, can you imagine them giving out netcode? Netcode penalties?
You get netcode penalty. As pace car rolls off, it's going to be Tom Eldridge giving us to the green, but he's got a very fast car of the 05. Blaine Atkins diving immediately to the inside before he even got to turn number 1, already past the 96.
It's just letting him go. He knows he has old tires. Caution, once again, is out.
That's the 88 machine.
The 88 is stuck on the apron of the racetrack as the pace car just takes him out completely. That was a very, very tough break for the 88 car.
Tough break for the 88 car, but yeah, for sure the pace car. I was not expecting to T-bone the 88 at that moment. Self-spin coming off of turn number 1 into 2. And that looks extremely similar to how we saw the 5 car. Or was it the 5? We've seen so many cars spin now. It was one of our first cautions where a car just lost it coming off the corner. So I'm not surprised to see that. But
it was the 8 car. The first caution was the 8 car, but they lost it going into turn 1.
That's right. It was the 8 machine in that Goodwrench 8 car of Hedges that spun it around first caution. This time around, Kyle Johnson will be taking a different point of view for this one, as we'll be actually taking a little bit of a chopper cam. You'll see him get loose entering the corner. It'll be a pretty cool shot for you guys to see as coming in to turn number 1, it just steps out from under him, and luckily everyone else behind him had enough time to react, get out of the way, as also the 80 car drifts to the inside.
Well, we did have another caution, so I wonder if we have enough time to shout out our sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, might as well give them a shout out and give them some airtime. Shorba Graphics, we're going to give you a side-by-side look and enjoy your time with Shorba Graphics. Was a word from some of our sponsors out there. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to shout you guys out, as well as giving us the opportunity to just give some great products, some great airtime. Right now, Blaine Atkins is your leader, fastest car on track, and really is showing a show for us to watch. Every single restart, he's been diving to the inside. This time, he gets to just pull away from everyone. You got Jake Houndshell, Tom Eldridge, Chris Morse Jr., and Dallas Myhand, your top 5. Pace car rolls off, coming to lap 52 of 200 to be set, as now we're about to go green, green, green for Blaine Atkins.
And the 83 car stayed right with them on the restart. We'll see if the 83 has anything really to say for Blaine Atkins. But
Three wide action from third on back as they were about 2-3 wide, continuing to just cause mayhem. But it's Dallas Myhan that gets by, as well as Brady on the inside. It's going to be Eldridge stuck on the high side on those older tires, trying to let everyone else go on by. The car that had the worst loss there is going to be Chris Morris Jr., who just kept on drifting on back.
yeah, I'm kind of surprised that the 96 didn't come down for fresh tires on that last caution. But I mean, if he feels like it's part of a strategy, then more power to him.
That's probably one of those things of lead a lap, get that bonus point, helps you out with the long run of points and helping yourself for the championship. Is that 96 machine trying to get at least the lap led, drifts all the way back to 11th. You saw it that last lap, the 24 car got a little loose, but it's Dallas Myhan and Brady that are having a good run here for third place. And guess what? Fifth place, it's Schleiss, who's finally battled back after getting spun around, or self-spinning, I should say, is now up to fifth, trying to get up to fourth at the moment.
Continuing to watch the 3-car back here, he's kind of just sitting behind the 43, just kind of minding his business now, looking through this field to see if there's any battling. I'm pretty sure they've got most of this down to just single file now. Maybe a little bit of time separating.
Oh, the 43 gets into the wall. Hard contact, and now it's kind of slowing up. Morris, oh, the 43 car gets extremely loose, and around he goes. You saw we were on the gearbox screen, and he just started to wiggle. Oh, no! Tom Eldridge, and also I believe that was the 8 machine. Heavy contact. The 5 is upside down. Oh my goodness. Well, that's caution number 6 for you. It's been very hard racing for these guys, and continues to be.
We have a couple of drivers that are probably going to be out of this race. That is the 5 of Eric Schaefer and the 48 of Jonathan Leach.
Yeah, the 43 came in and just came in with such a head of steam, wasn't able to hold off, and then other cars came flying through, and oh my goodness, the 5 car went for a ride, spinning all around. Or to take a, I mean, I'm just gonna put us into a cockpit view to see what he saw, because he tried to go the right route, go on the inside. Cars are spinning on the high side. It just did not work out the way he wanted it to. As you see, we're on board with the 5 car on this replay. Sees that a car stuck on the high side, decides to drift down. The 48 car comes down as well, and around he goes, flipping and spinning all around.
That was just an incredible. That was just an incredible incident. Just hard to. The 96 uses his fast repair, so he's able to get back out on there. But like I said, we got 2 drivers that are more than likely out of this race.
Yeah, that's going to be Michael Blanton as well as Jonathan Leach. The 43 and the 48 both have disconnected so far from the race, and they don't look like they're coming back. Right now, the 5 machine.
The 43 and the 48 have officially taken their cars behind the wall.
They are done. The 5 car sitting in pits trying to get as many repairs done for himself. Believe he used a fast repair earlier due to his engine damage, and now with that flip he might be able to recover, but it's not looking good. You know, he's planning on just trying to get his car repaired so he can at least get one more position on the 43. Everyone else out here, they're just running around trying to save that fast repair, but it's looking more and more difficult the longer this run goes, because you're not even safe if you're up front with how loose these cars have been.
Absolutely. Listening to these drivers discussing fuel strategies, it's gonna be. Some people think they're okay, but we're gonna have to definitely wait and see now. But we have a new leader that is Nicholas Weatherby in the 24 machine. He is leading second place. Behind him right now is Christopher Morse Jr. in the 3, and then Randy in the third place, and Blaine Atkin back in fourth.
We're just gonna go with coaching. I think that's what we're gonna go with. Randy
Yes,
coaching. I
coaching.
think that is we're solidifying that. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But I'm tired of just calling you Randy. I know that's your first name, but I feel like after a couple of races, that's when we'll get the right to just call you Randy. But
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
the 11 machine gonna drop back, getting some for the pits. Just want to give a PSA out. When you're drinking water, make sure it goes down the right pipe and not the wrong one. As I just went choking for a bit there. That was terrifying
Oh,
for a
that is
second.
not good. I've
I was
had
like,
that
oh,
happen so much.
I was like, I don't want to choke and cough into the mic, so I was just trying to rip my microphone off. But as pace car pulls off, it's going to be Nicholas Weatherby in the 24 machine leading us on the high side. But you know that 05 already ducking down below, trying to make the pass. Not passing to recross the line first, so a great move on waiting as Atkins already up to first. What a move.
Yep, fresher tires. That's what's going to happen. 5 car is still on pit road. The 8 car has just come off of pit road, and they're still battling back
Oh.
here. The 83 car just losing a bunch of spots.
Yeah, I mean, Brady right there got under the 83 and just kind of pushed him up just slightly, and now he's stuck in a position that kind of sucks for him. But it's okay. He's going to be able to at least he's going to get freight trained for a bit here. But once he gets back in line, I believe Hound Shell, with the fact that his car is so fast and he already gets back in line now, he can get by these guys. He's got a top 3 car. He's got it. He can get up there very quickly. But behind him, I mean, I'm concerned for that 68 machine if he can get by Dallas Mahan.
Boy, I am watching the roll bar camera on board the 83
Oh,
car. Ooh, the 3 car gets put up a little bit, man. You can really
Dallas Mahan
see it.
also got put up a little bit. He got loose and he kind of got too clustered up, forcing him to go on the high side. 3 cars still on the high side, getting passed by everyone. But now they're all single filed up again.
83 kind of collected himself now. He's trying to work his way through. He's going to get past the 24 car. He's got the 9 right in front of him. You got to be careful not to clip the apron.
I'm impressed by Weatherby. I mean, he's on 24 lap old tires compared to everyone else's 8 old tires, and able to really hold strong there in second for the longest time. Now only back to 4th place. Weatherby might be someone to watch out for later on in this run, but it's Bo Brady who's moved up to 2nd place. That's right. We're watching the 2nd place battle. Our leader right now is 2.5 seconds ahead of everyone else, practically in no man's land right now.
Yeah, well, I went. Oh, the 9 car just got seriously loose in the corner there, and that even slowed up the 83 car. The 83 car is just diving it into these corners. He's got the better traction, I'm sure. Now we'll have to wait. That's going to allow our leader to just pull away even further from that. And we'll
Up
see
to
now with
3.1 seconds.
we'll have to see now with clean air if the 83 can maybe try to reel him in, but he is just fighting that race car right now.
He's fighting with it, but he's not doing an awful job, able to hold off everyone so far. And I got to give it up to Houndshell. Able to continue just to fight forward. We saw him drop back 4 positions, able to get them all back. Up front, looks like the next car we're going to be seeing our leader of Atkins get up to is going to be the 8 of Robert Hedges. And Michael confirmed to me, did Randy coaching go and disconnect? Is he out of here?
I do not see him. No, as far as I know, he is still in the field.
That's right now for me. He is grayed out, but he's lost another position. He's 4 laps down at the moment. Last I saw, he went into the pits, so we'll see if the 11 car comes back.
I have to wait and see here. He is
Well,
not currently on. He could be in the process of lagging out.
that is something that happens sometimes for a car if they're gone for about 3 to 4 laps. iRacing will just kick them out. Sometimes people just, their internet goes down or the game crashes, and We'll take him out of the game. He is still able to get back into the race, but will be multiple laps down at the moment. 5, now 6 laps down as our leader got by Hedges. I'm watching our battle here for third as Slice ever been able to get up to fourth at the moment, past Dallas Myhan, and now has Bo Brady in front of him.
Now
Bo Brady goes up high.
this is exactly what we wanted. A nice, good green flag run here as they are approaching the halfway. We're about 30 laps shy of halfway, and 30 laps with going about 24 seconds, 24, 25 seconds a lap. Was roughly about maybe 10 minutes, give or take, 10, 15 minutes. I think they'll get to the halfway point, which isn't that bad for this race right here. As you see, I'm watching the leader, and just the way these cars look going into the corner, they look just about like they did at Daytona, just sliding that little bit sideways.
Yeah, that was the way they were also racing last week at Rocking It. They kind of just threw their car into the corner, almost completely sideways, and kind of would you just say drifting around, and just on the edge at all times. And as we've seen, it's more of the entry when these cars want to spin it out. Exit, it's more of the outside wall that you're nervous of hitting. If you can hit your mark just right, though, you can enter sideways, exit off the wall. You'll be fine and cruising as the gap between first and second, 3.6 seconds, and continues to grow for Blaine Atkins, who I believe, hearing from the drivers, after about 30 laps or so, your tires are absolutely cooked and fried. And then I think you go until about lap 45 to 50 when you'll see drivers possibly come into the pits.
There we go. Now the number 11 has officially brought his car behind the wall.
So Randy coaching not able to come back into this race. 11 machine right now 11th, but it might not stay like that as a 5 car able to get back on track. He is 18 laps down as coaching is 11.
He's got to make up 7 laps. 8 laps. He's just got to make up 8 laps, and then he'll be ahead in the 11th position. And
Hound Shell right now is actually not doing so well right now. He's drifted back on pace as he's drifting back a little bit, but at the same time, the 68 and the 41 look like they just saved their tires way better than our front two, as they're running about 2/10 faster that lap.
Yep, that's about what it takes. Good tire saving. It's going to be interesting to see to watch these drivers come to the field with those that have saved their laps or saved their tires. Save laps.
I mean, if we were able to save laps, that would make things pretty useful for these guys.
It would, right? Hey, I saved up 10 laps. Let me just use them now. Hey, look, I win.
Hey, I'll take those laps away. See, I won the race with 190 laps instead of you doing 200.
Yep.
Well, at the moment, our Daytona winner we're watching right now, 3rd place, but one of the faster cars on track, trying to pass by Jake Houndshell. And Houndshell doing a good job defending that 2nd place position. But last week's winner at Rockingham, Blaine Atkins, in 1st place in that 05 machine. And he's kind of just been pulling away into cruise control. He's had to pass lap cars here and there, but not a lot of issues for himself. Nicholas Weatherby, as well as some others out there of Chris Morris Jr. and Todd Eldridge. They're on some pretty old tires and are going to have to come to the pits sooner or later for these drivers. A car that had some issues, that's the 9 machine, coming off of 2, went loose and into the inside wall, did not bring out a caution.
That is good. At least the caution didn't come out, but a tough break for the number 9 machine. He was on a good run. The 83 slides up. I've been paying attention to this battle for 2nd place, and it's on again, a 3-way battle. The 83, the 68, and the 41 of Dallas Myhan. These guys are just fighting for this 2nd place. Uh-oh, the 83 blinked. There he is. He's back now. It's just a 3-car battle for 2nd place back here.
Right now we're on the hood of Dallas Myhan, who gets a great action of all of this, almost bumping the 68 car to woo him to go faster. Car that came into the pits, that's the 24 of Nicholas Weatherby, who is still looking like he's taking some damage as well as getting new tires. As also the the 9 machine is back on track running around, but he is 1 lap down.
Somebody is coming to pit road this time. Zach Onsen.
Right now, looking like coming to the pits. A great time for these guys trying to switch things up. As Weatherby able to get back out on track. As right now, looking at drivers that are having some issues, just driving around having fun out there.
Absolutely, we have joining us up here in the booth the driver of the number 11, the guy whose last name we really can't pronounce right.
Coking.
Coking.
Okay, see now that we got that right. So tell us
You
how.
did good. Coaching, that's what most people do. No, it said it disqualified me for a black flag I didn't serve or something. I don't know. It's been screwy a little bit on that.
Yeah, black flags have been kind of fluky with these 87 machines, so
Yeah.
it kind of happens here and there. I mean, it was looking like you were having a good run out there in that 11 machine. Was there anything out there that was kind of surprising you with how loose these cars have been?
Yeah, like going in was majorly loose. I mean, you had to hit it just right. If you hit the brake too much, your rear end was coming around. It was just really slick out there. But yeah, I wasn't running as fast as them other guys, so I was trying to kind of stay out of the way towards the back and just get to the end of the race. But it didn't work out.
Well, Randy, thank you for coming in and correcting us. As out there on up front, 68 machine able to get by everyone as well as Dallas Myhan. It looks like Houndshell having some issues, dropping back to 4th, and almost had the 96 machine drop right on top of one another. They got to be careful of the lap machines. They're on different tire tire strategies, I should say, and you got to be careful with the newer tires against the old.
Absolutely, like I said, and so it was a pretty interesting thing there. At least we know his last name now. Keeping an eye on the 68 machine, he is now in second place, and he's got about what I want to say about
Coming up.
about 3/4 of the front straightaway to go to catch up to Blaine Atkin.
Yeah, it's almost 4 seconds gap now, and it's not growing as quick as it once was. But I mean, right now, Blaine Atkins' only issues that he has on losing time whenever traffic in front of him, and he doesn't have lap traffic for another half of the lap. I mean, half of a course. So that 05 machine's got a lot of time to start pulling away once again. As up front, you're seeing the difference in tires. That 24 car just came into the pits, got repairs done, and now is blowing by our second and third place drivers, trying to get back to Atkins to possibly unlap himself. As the 24 car right now is 2 laps down, unlaps himself, and a caution comes out. He'll be getting the lucky dog position at the moment.
So keeping an eye on our leader, he's not really faulting all that much. Todd Eldridge back here, it's still in the 8th position. He's got a little bit of front end damage, so he's been into somebody again. The 88 car back here as well. Kyle Johnson just kind of floating on by, trying to make it.
As of right now, our closest battle on track is this battle that we have on screen for second and third of Schleiss and Dallas Myhan. And Ashton and that 68 machine's been doing a very good job both these drivers. They were all the way in the back of the pack after being caught up in some early wrecks and were able to battle back up to second and third. And, last week at Rockingham, it was Blaine Atkins, Schleiss. Schleiss was struggling for the first half of that race and then came back up front, had a good finish. Dallas Myhan had a great car at the start of the run, and I thought Houndshell almost got the win last week, but due to iRacing picking whenever they thought was the best time to freeze the field, gave the win to Blaine Atkins after a very shocking last lap accident that costed a lot of drivers a chance to win the race. But right now, Blaine Atkins looking like the most dominant car. But as I say that, the last couple of laps, that 68 and 41 have been running about 2/10 faster, if not the same lap time. Then they run a little bit faster the next lap. And they've been chipping away slowly at this lead that Atkins has.
Yeah, you saw the 24 just pass him. 24, I think, just came off of pit road and has fresher tires. And you said the second place drivers are catching him. Yeah, he's I think he might be trying to save a little bit, or as much as he can, but he's not going to be able to do that for very long, as these second place and third place are catching him.
On track, looking like the 88 machine came on the pits a lap ago, as well as Todd Eldridge just came into the pits to get repairs done. So drivers are going to have to start thinking about coming into the pits. Other drivers that have not pitted that we're expecting to be the first ones in is going to be the three of Christopher Morris Jr., who we're used to seeing to be up here in the top three at the moment, not running as fast, but our second and third drivers, they are caught up by the 88 machine that's on much fresher tires. And with them being out here and these guys short pitting compared to our leaders, they're going to be able to gain a lot of time that they once lost.
Yep. These drivers are... Oh, the 68 car just made a little bit of contact with the 88 going into that corner.
Yeah, the 88 kind of got frustrated. He knew he was on the fresher tires, and 68 was not letting him by easily. And contact was made of using the bumper a little bit, and then a little bit of side contact. Luckily, no one wrecked, but that is a very sketchy situation these drivers are in. We're just got past the halfway marker. 100 laps to go for Blaine Atkins in that 05 machine. These drivers have been doing a fantastic job, but the pit stops are going underway. Half the field has come to the pits, other half have not. We've also had a total of 4 cars deciding not to finish out this race due to too much contact and too much damage to their cars. It's going to be the 9 machine of Bo Brady, the 11, the 43, and the 48. They all wrecked out about 36 laps ago. But right now, battle for seconds underway.
They're just past halfway.
And due to us being at the halfway marker and not a lot of, it's not looking, with everyone so spread out except for these top 2, we'll keep the camera on them. We'll give ourselves a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. What happened with the 88, Michael?
The 88 just powered. I didn't mean to cut you off there. The 88 just powered by our race leader. It almost looked like he put him in the wall. Not 100% sure, but the 05 there just struggled a little bit off of turn 4.
We're going to take a quick gander at this contact that you were talking about that possibly could have gone down.
Possible contact.
As this is what we were talking about with the 88 car coming quickly on the 05. You'll see the 80 on the inside, the 05 on the out. And a hard charge by the 88. I don't believe there was contact there. And it was just a clean pass made that looked close. Atkins has just been running so close to the wall that it's hard to tell sometimes.
Absolutely.
But like I was saying, we're going to put ourselves in a quick commercial break. But we'll be back for the final half of this race, as we've already just gotten past the halfway marker. ladies and gentlemen, pit road is open. That's going to be Dallas Myhan, who was once in third, coming into the pits. That's giving the door to our leaders. Also, that lead that Blaine Atkins had, it's drifting away quickly. It's now down to 1.5 seconds. But right now, a clean, pit stop for the 41. So you could tell with the little bit of crinkled upness, there's still a little bit of damage on that 41 machine, saving that quick repair for later on in the race. But we got to move ourselves up to the 68 car, who is on a mission to catch up to Blaine Atkins, and he's running about 0.3 faster than the 05.
Yep, and with fresher tires now, it's going to come into play. Question is, when does our leader bring it down pit road?
You saw it right there. That's the difference. And we're going to go into gearbox cam because it is less than a second now from our 05 to the 68 machine. This is your battle for first and second. And, Michael and I, we were talking and we're just wondering, when were these leaders going to come into the pits? Dallas Myhan was the first to come down, and now it's going to be the 3 machine doing the second pit stop of our top 4.
Yep, but our leaders still aren't quite in just yet. But whoa,
Blaine Atkins!
I think he just smacked the wall randomly, but holy cow, that's not going to help us. Here comes the 68 machine.
Here comes the 68 right on his back bumper, almost contact made, and these cars were already slipped and sliding with new tires. Imagine how difficult it is with 58 lap old tires, which both of our leaders are on.
Absolutely, that was just crazy. I don't know if that was maybe a glitch or if maybe he just looking in his mirror and then just slapped the wall. But here comes the 68 underneath our leader, and this is going to be the first lead change in a long while since the previous restart.
Schleiss has missed this spot. He got the pole position here today, trying to get back into the lead, but here comes the 3 car coming out back. Oh, no! Atkins back into the wall!
Oh, that's not going to be good. He got real sideways and squirrely. His tires have to be gone.
He should have came in possibly a lap or 2 ago. Now Schleiss is going to be getting a little slippery off of 4, continuing to move forward, but that 05 machine looking rough on the right side, as it is completely, we're used to seeing that car being all black. That right side is completely slick, and there might be a little bit of steering issues for the 05 as he is now backing down.
Now the question is, will he get to? If he got to pit road in time, or not pit road speed in time. I want to keep an eye on Blaine Atkins. If you want to keep an eye on our leader here, I'll see if he's going to repair.
Houndshell's in as well, and looks like our next, besides our leader, would be the 8 machine of Hedges back in 8th place, as he is 4 laps down, not really in a position to come back. We've got a couple of machines that are 1 lap down. That's going to be the 3, the 88, and the 41. And Blaine Atkins and Houndshell will both go 1 lap down, as looks like Schleiss still staying out there on track as we're working lap 119 of 200, coming to the lap 120 with 82 laps to go now. About to be 81 laps to go for these drivers out of 200 laps here at Richmond.
Blaine Atkins, when he came in, he used his fast repair, so he is back to having no damage on that 05, and that's going to be that could be a problem for the leaders up here, especially once he gets going again.
Yeah, but he's lost at least a little bit of time just because of the contact that he made, and the 68 wiggling just a little bit. Thought he was going to be coming in to the pits, decides not to, stays out for another lap. 80 laps to go, and Ashton Schleiss been out there for 63 laps. At lap 60 is when we saw Blaine Atkins come in, and
he is pushing it.
Atkins is just going to be launching like a rocket. Fresh tires. This car has been a rocket ship for the first about 30 to 40 laps, and then that's when we started to see him drop off. He was trying to pull away, hoped that he had a big enough gap. It wasn't big enough, as it being about 79 laps, about to be 78 laps to go when our leader crosses the line. It is going to be rough for Atkins to hold off Schleiss, because Schleiss is going to have so much fresher tires.
It will be, yeah, but kind of like you said, the longer the leader stays out, the more time that Blaine will gain, and it might not even matter depending on how long these cars can go on the tires.
But here's the thing, right? Blaine, when they were on equal tires, Blaine pulled away for the first 40 laps. Then he started to lose it. He came into pits with 80 laps to go, a little bit over 80 laps to go. So that 05 machine is going to start dropping off at the halfway marker of this last stint. It's going to be difficult for him, but it looks like the 68 car into the pits.
And Blaine's gonna, I believe, unlap himself by going around him now. The question will remain is if he can, where he'll cycle back around.
There is a 7-lap difference for tires between Dallas Myhan and Blaine Atkins. And Myhan at one point actually was running a little bit faster than Atkins. So these two
Wow,
looking to challenge one another.
Blaine is just pushing his car, and that's not what he needs to do. He is going sideways enough to where he's counter steering in these corners, and that's just eating his tires up.
Here's the thing, though. He is running about almost 8/10 faster than Dallas Myhan, who had about a 5-second gap at one point. It's now down to 2.5 seconds for that first place position. And he is coming in quick, as that is a 24.1 for Dallas Myhan, 23.3 for Blaine Atkins.
See where they cycle back around. Blaine on the back straightaway. Where is the 68?
68 machine. Oh boy.
That's gonna trap a lot of cars, and I don't know who it was for.
That's going to be Nicholas Weatherby, going to be getting the lucky dog in 7th place. Tom Eldridge, as well as Robert Hedges. And Hedges was the one that brought out the caution there. And also the 5 car in 10th place will all be staying multiple laps down, which should put us about 7 cars on the lead lap. We'll take a quick look at how the 8 machine went around, as that was a pretty hard lick, and he lost it in the middle of 1 and 2. Re-looking at it, actually wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. It was a lot of the smoke was with him trying to keep off the wall. To see him lose it in the middle of the corner, almost exactly like we saw for our first caution for the 8 machine. But this time, it's caution number 7.
Yeah, Dallas Myhan was the race leader. In the 41, he's now on pit road. I'm not sure how many cars are a lap down right now.
Cars that are a lap down would be, like I said, Weatherby going to be getting that lucky dog position in 7th. So we got 8th, 9th, and 10th.
So
3 cars 1 lap down, they're going to be in the back.
It's possible that Dallas Myhan might have the freshest tires. Oh no, never mind. Blaine came back down pit road with the 41 car. And here comes, I believe these are the lapped cars down pit road.
Yeah, it is the lap cars coming in. The Eats pulling in this time. Eldridge coming in, and a lot of other machines. Lap machines and cars that are on the lead lap all came in this time. Bike car that stayed out, though, for our lead lap cars, going to be the 68 machine of Schleiss. He's the only one. Everyone else came in for tires.
Of course, about makes sense. You know, he only pit a lap ago, so it'll be about a lap difference. We'll see if it'll be enough.
As also, we've got Dallas Myhan in 2nd, Blaine Atkins in 3rd, Kyle Johnson going to be in 4th, Jake Houndshell going to be in 5th. And then we got the 3 actually going to be moving up to 4th place on our telemetry. What happened back there? Yeah, no, the 3 machine did do it. Those were the cars that came in the pits a lap later than our top 3. Christopher Morris Jr. going to be getting 4th, Kyle Johnson 5th, and Jake Houndshell 6th.
I believe the three machine had a black flag, so I'm not sure exactly how all this is gonna play in the see what's gonna happen here.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see, as I'm looking to see. I think our pace car lights are still on. We're getting closer and closer to about 20 laps to the 150 marker, and then we'll have the final quarter part of this race, where we'll see for the final 50 laps who's going to be up front. And my money might be on the 05 of Blaine Atkins.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be a battle. I don't know. I'll keep my money on Dallas Myhan.
I wanted to apologize. I've been saying Blaine Atkins. It's Akin. Um,
We're just
It
adding an
rolls off the
extra S.
tongue. I know a family called Atkins in real life, so it just I'm so used to saying it, but it's Akin. I want to say sorry there, Blaine, for miss saying your
It's
last
not like
name.
we're
We've been saying it
we're
all
just
night long.
it's not like we're butchering his name or anything. We're just adding an S at the end. There's two of them.
I mean, isn't that how you butcher names? You add letters and you subtract letters. So,
No, I mean saying butchering a name is getting it completely wrong when it's spelled one way and we're saying it a completely different way.
well, our top 7, our lead lap cars. Pace car rolls off. It's going to be Ashton Slice. Going to be giving us the green here with Dallas My Hand. And the diving 05. Expecting to see him. There he goes. Already down the inside. It's that black machine. He's got to be careful not to cross the line before the car in front of him. Does a great job already by the 41 and right on the back bumper of the 68.
68 gonna block the inside lane. 05 is gonna get a run underneath, and we'll see if the 68 kind of keeps it on the inside. Like I said, we've seen that Blaine has a good short run car, but if we get a long run, his car starts to fall off more than the rest of them. So
Blaine
68 car
Atkins
should just
already passed him. Oh my goodness.
let him go and let him run his tires out, and then run him back down by the end of the race.
Other action on course, that battle for second. You've got Christopher Morris Jr. in that 3 machine. We've seen him drift back because he was on the older tires. Now he's on equal ground. Will the 3 machine have anything for these fast guys up front? You know Dallas My Hand as well. Ashlight's going to be saving those tires for the long run. But it's going to be Morris that's going to be pushing it, coming below the 68, trying to get the second to try to run down Blaine Atkins if possible. Oh, so I'm looking, right? We have our telemetry on with us where we can see driver's last lap, best lap, and the gaps between each other. The best lap out here for these drivers, Blaine Atkins is put down at 22.6. The next closest driver was Jake Houndshell in 5th place with a 22.9. 0.3 difference between these cars' fastest laps. I don't know how these cars are planning on staying close, but it is going to be a really close run to the end if we stay green.
Yeah, absolutely. This is insane. The 3 car has gotten second place and is beginning to try to drive away a little bit. I guess a lap or two fresher tires really does make a difference.
It's only a couple of laps difference. Remember that Schleitz is on older tires. It might just be 3 lap older tires, but those were 3 laps of green flag run older tires that he has compared to everyone else. So that 68 machine is in a slight disadvantage, which then puts Dallas My Hand in a very good spot, as well as Houndshell looking quick on the short run.
Gonna different camera angle here for the car that I'm watching, that number 3 car. Watch on board the roll bar here. He's got about an entire half a turn between himself and the 05 car. We'll see if the 3 car will be able to make up that difference if we stay green.
Houndshell maybe able to make the pass and up to 4th place. And that 83 machine, I mean, like I said, he was the second fastest car based on best lap times, and he's one of the fastest cars out here on track. That last lap, as Houndshell now thinking about diving below the 68 machine, and will he be able to do that here? Just not looking like this lap, possibly next lap when he builds up that momentum.
Noticing the 3 car had a bit of a blinking issue.
Whoa, Dallas My Hand dives it deep under Houndshell, and Houndshell, once again, it's the terror of turn 3 that shocks. Actually, that was turn 1. That's so different from what he's been doing. Usually it's turn 3 when the 83 just dives it high. That time it was turn 1 when he did it, giving Dallas My Hand back that position for 4th.
Guys are trying to get every type of position they can, getting it as quickly as they can too, hoping to not waste too much of the tires. These cars still have about what, 60, 70 laps to go?
61 laps to go. When our leader crosses the line, it's going to be 60 laps to go as he crosses it now. Blaine Atkins at the moment with a 2.2 second lead over Christopher Morris Jr. That 3 machine is doing a great job of staying close. It's everyone else behind him that's really not running as fast as our leaders. As they're kind of saving up tires in a way with Dallas Myhan putting down a 23.9, and our leader just put down a 23.9, and then the 3 car putting down a 23.8.
Yep, it's the 3 car is a little he's trying. Oh, he just got a little sideways off of turn 2 there. He's definitely coming.
He's trying to push it as hard as he can. Dallas Myhan trying to push it as well. Whenever I'm saying 24s, 23s, those are the lap times that these drivers are putting down comparatively to everyone else. So Blaine Atkins, that last lap, a 24.1 compared to everyone else. Second and third put down a 24.0, and then from fourth on back, 24.1 or worse.
Keeping an eye here. It's about say what? So we got less than 60 to go. These cars are pretty much single file here, and I don't see a caution coming out unless somebody just ends up spinning out themselves. So just keep an eye on to see if the lead here is shrinking between Christopher Morris Jr. and
It's shrunk a little bit. Those last couple of laps, it's gone down by a couple of tenths. For Dallas Myhan, it really hasn't been shrinking that much, but that 3 machine is slowly catching up to our leader, and it's close, but it's really not close enough. As the 3 car blinking in and out just a little bit here, but I'm looking at our telemetry. Michael, I think you might be able to confirm this for me. iRacing, we do have a timer for these races and lobbies sometimes. Are we anywhere close to possibly running out of time for this race?
Oh, absolutely not. It's 2 hours and 55 minutes, and we're only elapsed 1 hour 17 minutes, so we still got plenty of time.
All right, then my telemetry was looking a little off, like it was saying we only had 20 minutes left. I was like, that doesn't seem right at all.
Could be for the whole time we've been in the server.
Possibly. I
And even then,
honestly don't.
this is a almost 5 hour session.
I think it just might be counting down, getting us closer to the 2 hours of us being in this race, possibly. As our leader coming across the line, 52 laps to go. We're getting closer and closer to that last quarter marker. And Blaine Atkins does not have the same lead that he once had on Schleitz and Myhan, and that's kind of a shocker. But at the same time, Morris Jr. has been running a lot harder than what we were seeing Schleitz and Myhan do on that last green flag run that allowed them to catch up. But looking back, I think Tom Eldridge coming into the pits once again for repairs.
Yep. Getting a final little bit of repairs, maybe a little bit of fresher tires. I just saw something like a spark or something. Did the 05 maybe hit the wall?
We're going to take a look here as we'll take a quick rewind.
I see a little bit of damage to the back quarter panel on the passenger side of the 05. It's very possible he might have gotten a little loose and kissed the back of the... Yeah, he's got damage to the back end of his car.
We're going to see off of turn number 2 for our leader. And yeah, he off it too, got a little loose, scraped the back end. I don't think that's enough to hurt him. But Blaine Atkins out there with a little bit of damage on that rear right of the 05. The 3 machine 1.5 seconds back from our leader. And you saw there the stars and stripes machine of Tom Eldridge in 9th place. He's a couple of laps down, and with his fresher tires, we'll be able to pull away from our leaders easily.
And boy, he is driving it hard into these corners and counter steering so much. Blaine is. He's just got to really, really be careful.
And as we were looking at our leaders, Dallas Myhan has lost 2 positions to Schleitz as well as Houndshell, back to 5th place. And I'm wondering if Houndshell might have been trying to save his tires. He knew he has the pace for sure to run up front, but we saw in that first stint he kind of used up all of his tires early and quickly. This time he ran a couple of laps, was like, okay, I feel like I still have the pace. Damage isn't too hard on this 83 machine. I'll back it down, save those tires, and then make a hard charge for the top 3 at some point here. But we have to wait for the final 20 laps to see if these cars from 3rd to 5th have enough tires under them to catch up to Blaine Atkins, Blaine Atkins, that kind of like what we saw for that green flag run.
Absolutely. It's going to be tough to tell.
I want to drip up to our leader, who's getting by some lap traffic. Blaine Atkins able to get by the 8 as the 5 car right in front of him. And you're just seeing the difference between a car that has minimal damage and cars that do have heavy damage and have been running in the back. And you know what?
There's now a left car in between the leader and 2nd place.
I gotta give. Oh no! The 5 car and Blaine Atkins make contact. Caution is out.
Oh man,
I was just about to praise the 5 car for, he had his engine blown, he flipped, and now he's still chugging out here in top 10 position. And I don't think that was on purpose to make contact.
I wouldn't even call that on the 5 car, honestly.
No, that was like neck code and blink.
No, he held his line. The 05 just kind of drifted up the track, getting back on the gas right up into him.
And that's not. Oh my! I was not expecting to see that at all as we were hopping board, but that's the possibility of, you saw there. Blaine came up, the 5 car ran his line. I think Blaine might have been expecting the 5 car to drift up a little bit higher, but just it never did. That's
the
just
3 car stays out, and that's not going to be a good idea.
No, that is extremely not okay, as he is on 30 lap old tires comparatively to everyone else getting those fresher tires. Oh, this isn't going to be good.
And they called it, I just heard the race officials called the accident on Blaine.
Is he going to be given an EOL for that?
He's going to have to go back and look, but from what I heard, that it was going to be on Blaine.
Ooh, Christopher Morris Jr. going to be pulling his car into the pits. You saw him blink, but that's just that internet connection issue that we saw, kind of like what the 43 had, but not as aggressive. Pulling into the pits 1 lap later than what everyone else is doing, trying to get that slight advantage. But what's the confirm? Is there a confirmed call for Blaine? What's going to happen to him?
I'm not sure just yet. Nothing official has been said.
All right, as we continue to wait, we'll wait for confirmation on what's going on. But as we're waiting, we'll be giving ourselves a last word from our commercials, and then we'll be running the rest of this race. You'll be hearing the rest from Michael and I. Well, the pace car lights are off. We're getting ready to go, and it's gonna be Ashton Slice giving us the green flag here with Hound Shell and the rest of the crew behind. Well, with my hand and Johnson. Watch out for Blaine Atkin back in 7th place. He's going to be trying to make a whole bunch of dives, but it's my hand taking the same strat, diving it low as well as the 24 and the 05.
That's right. We've got 39 laps to go, and it's going to be an all-out race now to try to get these last couple laps in. I wouldn't be surprised to see Larry Mack's old breed caution thing come into effect right now.
Larry Mack and his patterns and statistics that come out. Gotta say though, English is hard sometimes. We've been doing this for 164 laps, and Atkins already up to 4th place. And the 88 goes high, up into the wall. Actually avoided the wall. Great recovery by Kyle Johnson, but that's just been the struggle for that 88 machine.
I don't think that penalty was too much for Blaine, as he just took it in stride and is now gonna. 83 got real loose, and it's gonna be a
3 wide
battle for second
They're
place.
staying 3 wide. I cannot believe it. Dallas Myhan stays on the outside, drifts on back. The safest move for him, as everyone else was going to come crashing down on that 41 off the corner. Able to stay strong.
There goes
Is Blaine. Oh, there he goes. Hound Shell around. Bring out caution number 9.
And this is not good for the 68, as Blaine is now back to second place.
He's been the master of diving into turn number 1 and gaining the most, is Atkin. And he'll be continuing to try to do that, as we're going to be taking an aerial view of this caution. It's going to be the first black car in line that's going to be spinning out, as that's going to be Hound Shell, and he just comes in loses it by himself. And, that's a mixture.
That's hard racing.
It's a mixture of both him just running hard and entering as aggressive as he can because they're side by side. Also, a little bit of aero push that can help that car spin it around. So a mixture of things for these drivers, but caution number 9 for these drivers means more caution laps. I'm not surprised to see that. You need the advantage of fresh tires as possible. It's with all these cautions that are coming out though, it's helping out that 8 machine of Hedges.
Yeah. Let's slowly get it back on the lead lap with the more cautions we have.
Yeah, I mean, we've had 9 cautions, and, we've had start out with 14 drivers. Now we have 9 still on track. We just lost the 5 car, and we've lost the 9, the 11, the 43, and the 48 throughout the race. But there's been one car that we know is probably the fastest one out here, and that is the 05 of Blaine Atkin, who's just been about 3 to 4 tenths faster than everyone else and just launches like a rocket ship on these restarts, expecting to see nothing less than that. As was that a 2-tire stop for Schleiss?
I have no idea. I didn't really see it.
On our telemetry, he was only in for a stop for 11.3 seconds, which is half what we're used to seeing. And usually when you see half of a stop, that's only a 2-tire stop with a little bit of dash of fuel.
Could very well be. Maybe Dallas Myhan had the same strategy.
And Hedges is going to be in our lucky dog position. So he'll now only be 4 laps down when he was previously at one point. I believe he was 7 laps down. So all these cautions have come out. It's helped out that 8 machine to put himself back up front.
Pace truck lights, I believe, should go off this time, and we should get a restart with 31 laps to go.
And you kind of hinted towards it. Cautions breed cautions. And
pace car lights are still off, so we could get a restart with 30 laps to go.
Oh boy. Pace car lights still on. So they'll be going around one more time. Everyone else on track has the freshest tires they can, and it's just going to get more and more intense. The longer this goes and the more cautions we get. I don't think that this is our last caution of the day, just based on how these drivers have been racing around here.
I don't think so either. It's going to be intense.
It's going to be Ashton Slice in first place in that 68 machine. Dallas Myhan in the 41. Blaine Atkin in the 05. Nicholas Weatherby in the 24. And Christopher Morris Jr. in the 3. That's your top 5. Then you've got Kyle Johnson in the 88. Jake Hounshell in the 83. Robert Hedges in the 8. And Tom Eldridge in that 9th place, 96. Stars and Stripes, red, white, and blue machine. It's still chugging along. It might be in 9th place, 7 laps down, but it's still running. It still has a potential chance of getting more positions if we have more cautions coming up.
Very well could. Pace truck is off, getting ready for the restart. We'll see how two tires fares over 4 tires, as already we are going to probably go about 3 wide. Nope. The 05.
Oh, what a block! Schleich saw the 05 coming, said, I am not allowing you to that move, shuts the back door down. Now Dallas Myhan thinking about making a push back as the 05 gets extremely loose through the center of 3 and 4.
Yep, he is trying hard. 29 laps to go. Oh, we're almost 3 wide back there.
Whether we thought about diving it under Myhan, but thought otherwise, as we're all single filed out, trying to figure out who's going to be making the next move. But Schleiss, he has just to continue holding off the 05. It might feel like forever. We're coming to 28 laps to go, but it is possible as Myhan gets extremely loose off of 4, saves it, and it's going to get passed by everyone on the low side.
Good save. Tough break. The battle for the lead is really heating up.
Oh, the 88 car almost dumping it into the inside wall, able to save it. Schleiss up front, still holding off Atkin, but it is still hot and heavy everywhere around here as Weatherby is now trying to slowly catch up to our top 2, that if they get sideways, that 24 car can be right there.
Absolutely, that was intense. Another great save. So I'm just keeping an eye on this battle for the lead. These guys are just racing.
They're pulling away.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got your pole sitter and Schleiss in that 68 machine.
Oh, and we have a caution.
Caution in the back, and it is Houndshell. And the 83 machine spun around, and it looks like he was the only one involved. And it's kind of the same spot that we saw him spin last time, and it's the same exact result. Again, entering turn number 1, gets loose on entry, and it never caught itself. It's spinning around. Luckily, I think the 88, there were sparks there, but not a really heavy contact to hurt him too much. As that brings out our caution number 10. And now going to be less than 25 laps to go when we go green again.
Absolutely. That's going to bring a lot more intensity to these last 25 laps. These cars know that there's not a lot of laps left, and it's really time to go and get up as much as you can. And this restart's going to be interesting to see if the 68 blocks the 05 on the restart.
Man, it is one of those things of continue to push forward. Continue, as it looks like our top 3 staying out, and everyone else is behind them coming into the pits. And I'm kind of surprised to see that, as we're used to seeing Morris Jr. being the one that pits after everyone else.
Absolutely. So I guess we're gonna have to keep watching.
I mean, track position is very important at this moment for these drivers. That's why they're going to be battling as hard as they can. But coming out of the pits, it's going to be Dallas Myhan. It's going to be the 3, 88, 83, who really was not able to save any of. I don't think he has any more fast repairs done. Fast repairs for the 83 to use, I should say. But another caution comes out that gives opportunity for Hedges to get back into the lead lap, as he is now only 3 laps down. And without any laps are left in this race, it's still possible for that 8 machine to get unlapped.
It's very. I know. He's just been loving all these cautions, and I really do feel like we're gonna have at least another one before the end of this race.
Well, what's crazy is, yes, we've had cautions, but the last 2 ones have been Houndshell losing it by himself into turn number 1. So there hasn't been that heavy short track racing contact that we're used to seeing entering corners, just rubbing on one another and trying to get through the corner and beat someone out. It's been a lot of just the car itself being so much looser. Now, when we started the race, track temp was 80 degrees. Right now, same temperature, outside temp 78, and track temp 80 degrees. Not much has changed in that fashion for these drivers, so they're lucky for that, but they're trying to work with newer and older tires, top 3 on 10 lap older tires than the rest of the field. Dallas Myhan, Morris, Johnson, Houndshell going to be on those newer tires. Houndshell has a little bit of damage, but it's going to be Atkin, Schleiss, and Weatherby, your top 3 that are going to be.
Gonna have a restart with 20 laps to go.
20 laps to go, and we saw 40 laps to go. It was crazy how aggressive these guys have been, and it's only going to intensify as the race goes longer and longer. They've been out there for 180 laps, about to be 181 of 200. We've had 10 cautions. Will we have another one, or will we race to the green? It's going to be the 68 Altoids of machine of. I can't speak at the moment. It's going to be Schleiss. I was like, I'm going to do something really intense and cool. And now Schleiss in that 68 machine, Atkin in the 05, Weatherby in the 24. Can they hold off the rest of the fresher tire cars behind them? We'll have to wait and find out. Pace coat truck is off, and we are green. Atkin's already to the inside, diving it below the 68, trying to get the lead before we even enter the corner.
Oh, he does. Oh, look, he's coming back. 68.
Oh!
Oh my God. The zero,
Yeah,
that was bad. Give him the bump and run, 68. Let's see. Use these chrome horns, gentlemen.
It's time to use them, but I don't believe the 68 has used a fast repair. We know Atkin has. He's got to be careful not to damage that machine any more than he already has. And, my hand behind them now in 3rd is the 24 car of Weatherby, going to be dropping all the way back to 5th place.
Remember, Dallas actually has fresher tires than the front 2.
And Schleiss right on the back bumper of Atkins, thinking about making a move onto the inside. Got to be careful not to lose it. Almost got loose during the corner. Going to back up and lose momentum for the 41 machine as we're less than 20 laps to go. The intensity already here, and you're seeing all the cars behind them trying to make as many bold moves to get up front as fast as possible.
68 had to do a lot of counter steer into that corner. He got real loose, and here comes the 41 underneath.
Myhan able to get under the 68 machine and will do so. Following suit's going to be the 3 car, the 88, and here comes the 83 as well. They got to be careful not to get loose and to throw their cars into the outside wall or into any other machines out there. But Myhan looks like the car to beat coming off of turn number 4. Atkin had the overall fastest car, but due to the fact that he's on older tires, kind of puts him in a disadvantage point right now. Whoa!
Ooh,
blocking by Myhan.
3. Oh, geez, these guys have got to be careful. You notice the 05 not able to pull away, and that's probably because of the old tires. We've got 15 laps to go. These cars are racing like they only have 5.
I mean, you might as well. There's always a possible chance of someone spinning out, bringing out a caution. Myhan to the inside of the 05. The 05 gets a little... Here comes Morris on the inside. The battle for second still there. The 3 machine on below the 41 trying to hold off. and do as well as he can. But right now, Atkin in the lead, doing a great job. 14 laps to go. Side by side for second. The 05 loves to see this. Keep battling. Use up your tires. Help me out in any fashion possible. Morris trying to confirm this position as he blinks out. You got to be careful. We've seen an accident come out where a car blinked out. You don't want to do that again. But here goes Morris. My hand into the wall. They stay green. I don't know how.
Oh, no, they didn't. It's a big call.
Oh,
68
gosh.
involved, 88 and the 83.
And looks like Atkin going to continue to save that lead, but we got to go back as multiple machines blown up. The 88 blew up. The 68 blew up. Heavy contact, the big one late in this race. And that all started with the 88 getting into, well, my hand, I should say, getting into the outside wall, and chaos ensued from there. As we're going to take a chopper cam to see the 41 get into the wall there, come down, drop into the 8, and around he goes into the grass. Coming back up, the 60 had nowhere to go. The 24 neither. Oh, and Houndshell involved as well, and I believe he already fast repair. And that is heavy contact.
And the 3 stays out. That is not a good idea when everybody else behind you comes to pit road.
I mean, you got to try something different, right, from everyone else. But yeah, we saw the difference in speed comparatively to everyone else. Who can stop the 05 at this point? Because I thought maybe Dallas Myhan could, because he was on different tires. The 3 as well was on fresher tires. It's not looking great for the rest of the field. With Blaine getting fresher tires, it just puts fear into everyone else's souls, even though we're coming to less than 5 laps to go. I mean, less than 10 laps to go, my bad.
Yep. And we're going to probably get a restart with about 8 laps to go. Probably, roughly around 8 to 7 laps to go. And I just think that that's not enough time to hold off these fresher tires.
I mean, especially with the way that the 05 has just been diving into these corners, it's going to be extremely difficult as you see the 88 car limping that car around, blown engine, smoking it around, as well as the 68. They're just trying to run the best they can out there. Actually, I take the bat. 68 had a fast repair. He is still out there on track.
88, the 88's on the track, and he's still smoking.
Yeah, that whole entire engine is blown. Once he comes in the pits, he's gonna drift out, get out of the way for these guys. He's just trying to run the best that he can before, admins tell him to get off the track. But we saw Slice do this before, 2 tire stop, and it kind of worked out. He was able to hold off the 05 for a bit, but there's a difference now. The 05 is hunting for the victory and not just for the lead. It's going to be Morris as our leader. At the moment, it's Christopher Morris Jr. in the 3 machine as our leader. Kyle Johnson in the 88 second.
They're telling him to pull it over.
I'm not surprised. Race control, they don't want to see a car. I mean, that smoke is blinding for the drivers behind. You're not able to see anything. So we'll wait and see when Johnson, as he dips it down in now, and that should be the day for the 88 machine. And, he was staying out there as long as he could so that you wouldn't lose more positions to the cars that are already a lap down. And Robert Hedges, he will not be able to put himself back onto the lead lap. Remember, there is no green, white, checkered. The next caution that comes out most likely will be our last.
Absolutely. And that's going to be something that I'm sure the 3 car is hoping happens before he gets past. Is another caution coming out, but we'll have to wait and see. This could be a battle between the 68 and the 05. We'll have to wait and see if we'll have to just wait and see if the 68's going to throw a block. Sorry, my mind went blank for a second.
That's totally all right. Mine's gone blank a few times as well. Pace truck pulling off, and it's going to be the J4 Sim Racing 87 Vintage Series coming to a green here. This is probably our last green flag run as the 68 pulls off a great inside push. And my hand now trying to figure out on the outside as Atkin on the inside.
Oh my God, the 68.
Oh, he goes into the wall. He's coming. My hand gets involved. No yellow yet. They continue racing on. Yellow flag now pulled out for the race, as that is it. I believe
We got
it possibly.
six laps to go on the restart. If they somehow can throw this,
I mean, they're waiting for the pace truck to get out there. They're waiting for it. They're trying to figure out how to save time to finish this out green. As a driver, you want that to happen. You don't really want to win under a yellow, but if you do, a win's a win. Akin trying to go for a win, trying to go for the back-to-back. Won last week at Rockingham. Can he be our first two-time winner here in the 87 Vintage Series? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, we'll take a look back at the wild ride that we saw some of these drivers go on. It started out with the 68 coming around, and he came with a head of steam, just wasn't able to keep it as he's drifting off the corner, overcorrected, got on the wall. The 3 even got in the by my hand, hit the inside wall, and then stopped on the course, which brings out the caution for us. Completely riddled machine. But if you go back to it's one of those things, if the car's just too damaged and you don't have a fast repair left.
Yep, and unfortunately, like you said, I don't exactly know if we're going to get back to racing. So it's going to end up being a tough break.
You look at all the cars up here, and I went through most of them. Our 2 cleanest cars are our top 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
Everyone else has, even our leaders have touched and licked that outside wall, and it's been a struggle. And we've seen so many cars having self-spins just because how loose this car is. I mean, the 87 series machines are so loose and a handful, and it really gives a respect to their guys that really race these cars in real life and not in the virtual world. But it's an honor for us in the virtual world to get a chance to race these slick machines and how fun they really are.
Absolutely. I haven't had the chance to race one myself, but from what I've seen, this is actually going to be it would be a hell of a car to drive.
Oh man, I have tried out Rockingham last week before.
Pace car lights are still on. This race is going to be over.
Yeah, you don't want to see it, and that's what we got ourselves into. Unless we do a 1-lap shootout.
No, they would have had to have gotten the one to go now.
What a shame. We try sometimes.
Well, no, we'll have to wait and see.
As we're waiting for that one to go. And if it is a 1-lap shootout, things could change. But we need to see the pace car lights go off this time. If they don't, this race is over. And Michael, we're keeping our eyes on that pace car. The pace truck, I should say. Coming across the line. Are those lights on or are they off?
Let's see. They are off. A 1-lap shoot. You're right. A
1-lap shootout. Well, we're not in Texas, but it's time to have ourselves a Texas Hold'em. Figure out what type of games you're going to be playing. Keep your poker face up because someone's dive bombing you. Atkin, the few times we've seen him up front, he's had a great restart, so just launched off like a rocket. But I don't think he's ever had the 3 machine behind him of Morris, and this is it. 1-lap shootout here. We've had 200 laps. Let's figure out what the last one's going to be all about. as Blaine Atkins try to go back to back, and the restart's on. The 24 car trying to dive it low, not able to. Atkins diving it and defending the inside line, not letting anyone dive below him, and he'll just start pulling away as that 05. He's got to get a clean exit off. Don't get loose, and you'll be okay. Clean restarts for our leaders. It's everyone else behind that are going all crazy, but Atkins looking clean, coming off of turn number 4, gonna get the win here.
Oh, the 41
And
got spun.
oh no, my hand, an awful way to finish this race as they'll be finishing back in the back.
It seemed like the 24 either got loose or just came down and door slammed the 41 off of turn 4.
We'll do a quick review before our winner, Blaine Atkins, goes and does a couple of spins and donuts as we'll see entering turn number 4. Right on the low side, 24 car comes down. Also a little bit of help from my hand coming up, and I'll be spinning across the line, finishing back in 6th position. And the 41 machine went for a wild ride, but a car that went and had a great day. The 05. Going and doing the Polish. Going backwards around the track. Giving a little salute to all the fans out there that are social distancing on our screen at the moment.
Yep.
Well, Michael, the race is done. We know our winner.
Finally.
That was a long race.
A long
but,
race, but an exciting one nonetheless.
Yeah, how was that race from your point of view for us?
Oh, it was fun. It was exciting. You know, these cars slipping and sliding and everything. Just the tire strategy that came in it was incredible. He's gonna burn it down.
And as he's burning it down, and as also the drivers are going to slowly start coming in and getting ready for interviews for this race, we're going to be taking a quick result at how this race finished out. Blaine Atkin going to be getting first with Christopher Morris Jr. with second. Then the 24 machine of Nicholas Weatherby getting third. Jake Houndshell fourth. Ashton Schleiss, we thought was going to have a better run, going to be getting 5th place. Dallas Mahan 6th. Robert Hedges 7th. Eldridge is going to be getting 8th. 88 car was not able to finish it. 5 car was not able to finish it as well. And the rest of the cars out here not able to finish out this race just due to either being caught up in an accident, engine blown, and it's just a rough day for some of these drivers. But you know, the most dominant car out here did a great job really winning this race.
Absolutely. He managed to manage his tires well, got a good restart, and that's just about what he needed.
Well, it looks like we've got our drivers at the ready, so let's bring in Nicholas in the 24 machine who finished 3rd into the booth. Well, I think we actually counteracted each other, Michael.
I think we did too.
Well, Nicholas, you finished 3rd, and it wasn't easy to get up into 3rd. How was that race for you?
It was quite interesting. It was the hardest to maintain tires because this track, the living heck out of them. Well, I tried and I got up. I feel bad for Dallas. I actually did not mean to do that. I was trying to push him down by accidentally slamming into his door. So if that results in me getting a penalty, I have it won't bother me.
Yeah, I mean that last round we took a replay on it, and it looked like you both you came down, he came up. It was just one of those chaotic moments that coming off of a one lap shootout, you don't know what's actually going to go down. But it's from our broadcast point of view, it just looked like it was so slick out there from start to finish. How were you able to hold on to that car? Because there were a couple times I thought you were going to dump it into the inside wall.
Honestly, dirt track experience. It's the iRacing dirt track, and I literally know how to crank the heck out of the wheel when I'm sliding. But still, when you slide, your tires are getting devoured, and it makes your car slower. So that was the main downside. But other than that, it was maintainable. That's the hardest thing about the car. It has almost no downforce, and it's very loose no matter what.
Well, Michael, you got any questions for Nicholas?
It seemed like a bit of a loose setup just going in. How hard was it to exactly get your car to just send it into the turns without it getting too loose and spinning out on you?
Well, when I was going through the corners, I had to brake pretty early. Even on fresh tires, I had to brake pretty dang early. Because if you go in too hot, you spin. And actually, I learned that the colder tires actually, like the fresher tires, you spin no matter what. And that's why you gotta really stick it to the apron, and you gotta use a lot of brake to go through the corner. And on exit, you just haul butt. But that's what I found out later on when the race carried on, is that worn tires actually are more sticky, if you know what I mean, from like sliding. But the fresh tires are what make you slide a lot.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Nicholas, we went. I would call Rockingham kind of a short track aspect than we had Richmond here today. But next week we're going to Atlanta, and Atlanta just is notorious for being slick out there, like we just saw tonight. Are you excited for next week?
Man, now that you said Atlanta, I'm kind of nervous because even on the original Cup car that they have out now is slicker than heck. So I don't know what to expect with the '87 car, but I'll try. I'll have to just do some practice and whatnot, but it should still be.
Well, before we let you go, we're going to give you the opportunity to shout out anyone that you feel like you need to shout out.
Um, Honestly, I really had no one to shout out, but I will shout out DD Autosport. They're a good team. They're upcoming. I'm part of it, but as sponsors go, I really don't have anyone. But yeah, I gotta kind of think ZD Autosport. They're pretty supportive, so I appreciate it.
Well, that's Nicholson running in that 24 machine and able to snatch a third place and survive tonight at Richmond. Congratulations on third place run. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, you too, guys.
And next we're going to bring in is going to be second place running that 3 machine of Christopher Morse Jr. Chris, it's Sam and Michael up in the booth. You got us?
I got you guys. How you doing?
Well, it looked like a wild race for us to watch. You guys were slipping and sliding everywhere. How was it in your...
Yeah, Richmond's just a tough track as it is. It's usually pretty loose. There's not much grip there on the sim, and then with these cars, it's just I'm not sure what it looks like on the broadcast, but you're going in there counter steering every corner. So it's
Oh
made
yeah,
it
we saw a lot of that.
it's fun,
Yeah.
man. That's the only way I know how to describe it. It's a very rewarding car to drive, and I've told everybody, and I'll tell everybody watching, if you're watching this league, don't expect a lot of good, hard, clean racing. I mean, you're gonna get your green flag runs here and there. I think we had a pretty decent one tonight. We had green flag pit stops for the first season, but for the most part, man, these things are just you're gonna see beating and banging and people sideways.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, we saw that a lot, and we also saw that the '05 machine was just so aggressive on those restarts that helped them get up front. Was there anything really on that one lap shootout that you think you could have done to catch up to them?
No, no, absolutely not. Look, man, I don't know how he was doing it tonight, but he had about probably half a second on a hot lap over everybody else. And I mean, you're going through these corners with these things, and you're counter steering. And I know, he races in real life, and he's used to that. He races these kind of cars in real life. He's got a lot of car control, as you've seen every week here, and he's aggressive. And I pretty much ruined my chances on the second or third to last pit stop when I didn't pit. I was so busy trying to pay attention to cause the wreck and whatnot because we didn't know if it was Blaine or what was going on. So I had to start at the back of my pit. I figured if I stay out, maybe we'll get some quick cautions, and it worked out. I ended up P2. I don't think anybody really had any business winning this thing tonight other than Blaine. That kid's a rocket.
Nah, he was. Michael, you got any questions?
It was crazy. I was just curious as to why you did stay out with a couple of laps to go before the last caution flag. Because man, we saw that fresh tires were really the key for this.
It was just a mistake, man. I knew better. I was too busy trying to admin the race rather than race it itself, which is my own doing. The role I chose to take when we put the league together. But I don't know. I feel like had I pit on that last stop when Blaine started at the rear, it could have gone differently. But at the same time, who knows? Because back in the top two by turn one. So it's just I think he saw throughout the race that as we got into a longer run, if we went 30 or 40 laps, he didn't have the fastest car. But it's like he told me before the race, you got to get a 30, 40, 50 lap run before that matters. So if he's half a second faster and we don't get those runs, there it is. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, on those restarts, I mean, Blaine was really whenever everyone was accordioning up, he would just dip to the inside, and before he would just smash in cars in front of him, he was already side by side with the car that he was about to pass. So that '05 car making a lot of bold moves, but I know that you're excited. You and I have talked a lot about next week. It's gonna be a blast at Atlanta. A lot more cars supposed to be showing up for next week. How are you feeling about the new slick track at Atlanta?
Oh, I'm excited. So, normally I would say it's going to be hot. I don't really know because we've been using dynamic weather. It's not something I see a lot of leagues do, and I want to try it. And so far, we haven't gotten really any hot weather so far. Like Daytona, it looked like it was going to rain. Last week at Rockingham, it was, the sun was out, but wasn't hot by any means. And then tonight, like the track temp was like what 80, 85 degrees. So next week, if it's hot or not, doesn't matter. That track's going to be slick. It's going to just absolutely destroy tires, and it's going to be a fun race. I've done a couple races there in leagues in these 87 cars, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, Chris, before we let you go, we want to give this chance for you to give any shout outs.
Shout out to you guys and shout out to the drivers, man. Everybody that makes it happen. I've been getting a hold of people and telling them, hey, if you want to come race, come race. We can't put on a show without drivers. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to everybody who's been showing up every week. Shout out to the new guys who pop in one week and might not be able to make it every week. And shout out to you guys, of course, for putting it on. You guys do a fantastic job, and I'm glad we've been able to make it work. I can't wait for the field size to get a little bit bigger. I was joking around earlier saying we seem to add a row each week. Next week we should be pretty close to a 20-car field, so hopefully we can end with more than 8 cars.
Let's hope so. Well, that's Christopher Morris Jr. and the 3 Machine finishing second. Have a great rest of your day, man.
You too, man. Thanks, guys.
Well, now it's time to bring the man of the show, Blaine Atkins, into the booth. I mean, this '05 machine has just been dominating, and he looked strong from start to finish. Blaine, it's Sam and Michael up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, you look like the most dominant car out there, and we're not surprised that you got it done. But how was it out there on track?
It was loose every single time you put a new set of tires on, and it stayed that way for a couple laps, and then it started getting really, really tight after you wore out your right front tire after a little while.
Yeah, I mean, those restarts were the most defining factor of your race today. Was there any tactic that you were just utilizing that just worked, or were you just sensing when it was time to go?
I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. It's just freaking whenever you have a chance to go, I mean, you got to go for it, and whenever the green drops, you got to go.
Yep, and that's about what it seemed like. As soon as you're able to get a good jump on the restart there, man, you've come from fourth to first in just one corner. It's just it was incredible, man. Just how was, in your perspective, how was the car handling?
I mean, it was really good for probably the first 15 laps or so, and then it just started falling off a whole lot, and then that's when all the other guys started catching up to me there.
Well, Blaine, we're not even surprised with how fast your car was from start to finish, from practice, qualifying. I know you didn't put a qualifying lap down, but we know for sure if you did, you probably would have gotten that pole position. And then how fast you were race pace wise. Before we let you go, I want to let you have the chance to shout out anybody.
Yeah, I want to thank my dad, Kevin, Steve, and Greg, all my pit crew guys in real life, and I also want to thank SB Carburetors for everything they do for my real life car.
I just realized I forgot to ask you this most important question. How are you feeling about next week at Atlanta there, Blaine?
I don't know. I've never drove these cars here at Atlanta, so it's just going to be a guessing game there.
All right. Well, good luck there at Atlanta next week. But congratulations on today's win. As Blaine Atkin getting it done tonight. Congratulations and have a great rest of your night, man.
Yep, you too.
Well, Michael, I would say that I'm not surprised, but there were some surprising things that happened throughout the race with us having so many cautions, but at the same time, some great green flag racing throughout.
Absolutely, it was It was a real fun race just to watch and be, and just to spectate. Like 200 laps, everything. You figured you'd be tired after that, but gosh, it got my adrenaline going those last 50 laps or so. It's a heck of a race.
Now, we talked about cautions, breeding cautions once we were getting pretty into that long green flag run, and that's what we got. A 1 lap shootout decided who would get it done. It was Blaine Atkins and that 05 machine that got the win. Thank you for watching FRN broadcast. Michael, thank you for being in the booth. I know it was a short notice for you to get up in here, but thank you for joining me, man.
No problem. It was fun. Fun as always.
Well, our next broadcast here on Flatout Racing Network YouTube page is going to be the Fuel IndyCar Series. Their first race of the season is going to be this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a blast. Last season was a thriller from start to finish, expecting it to continue on here into this upcoming season. For myself, Sam Dyer, this is Michael Norman. Have a great rest of your night.